Do you ever get a random burst of motivation to study or to do something else? This usually happened to me after my exams or when I would watch a study motivation video. After my exams, I always used to fix it in my mind that I'll study for 6 hours daily, no matter what. I used to stick to those 6 hours of studying for a week or so, and then I would lose the motivation and get back to my old lifestyle. So, this is where most of us would go wrong. You did not make studying a part of your identity. What I mean is that you did not make studying a consistent part of your life because you relied on motivation. You will never know when you will get the next big burst of motivation. So the reason why you can't perform well on your exams is that because you depend on motivation. The basic part of studying is that you have to make it consistent. It is there in the definition of studying itself, and this consistency is what builds knowledge. So instead of relying on motivation, you have to build study habits. In my previous video, I have talked about how to build habits, so you can go watch it after this video. The basic thing is that habits are infinitely more stronger than motivation because you can control the cues which will act as mini motivation. As I have talked about in the previous video, habits are in 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward. Motivation acts as both the cue and the craving because you want to achieve that goal, which is the craving, but the biggest problem is that you cannot control it. If you make studying a habit by setting a time or leaving notes around, you will have no choice but to study because it is a habit. This is the same concept as going to the gym. For the first 2 to 3 months, you will not want to go to the gym, but after some time, it will become a habit and you don't have to think much about going there. You will go there. So the thing you can do right now to always feel motivated to study is to change your surroundings and identity. The most common mistake that most of you might be making is that you are studying and playing in the same environment. So I use my laptop for work and work only, and use my computer to play games or talk with my friends. But earlier I used to play and study on my computer, which was confusing for my brain because it wasn't a place for learning or for playing. Our brains are not as developed as you think. It doesn't know the difference between a working place and a playing place. So what you have to do is that you have to separate those things and designate one place for one activity. So, when you go to that place, your brain will automatically know that it is time to study or to play. It is like school. When you sit down in your classroom or go to the library, you unconsciously have like a more focused state because your brain associates that place with studying or quietness. And it always doesn't have to be places. You can associate objects with that certain action. Like before you study, you can put on your headphones so that it signals your brain that it is time to study. The second important change you have to make is your identity. You set limiting beliefs to yourself unknowingly. I have seen so many people saying that I'm bad at drawing anyways or I'm bad at studying anyways. This is just a cope, but it actually has a deeper effect on your identity. You are literally setting a ceiling to yourself that no matter how hard you try, you are still bad at it anyways. Instead, you should be thinking to yourself that you will get that work done. This is very different from being arrogant. The third and final change is that you should be looking at the bigger picture. You should be motivated by looking at your future self achieving those grades that you want or achieving a goal that you had set earlier. There are many people who always worry about the present, but you are different. That is why you are watching this video. You are different and better than other people. Don't forget to put in the work. Mwah.